stay conservative, run the ball here on third down. Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
Good evening, everybody. I apologize. We're a little bit late. I apologize, ZTV. It's our first episode with ZTV, and we were a little bit late here. It was my fault working on something, and I couldn't get it to work, and I'm a little frustrated. So my bad. Hope everybody's doing good tonight.
Welcome, welcome.
What's up, everybody?
All right, man. So like I said, it's our first episode with ZTV. So if you haven't heard of them, they are based out of Cincinnati. Last week we talked a little bit about it, and we decided after the show that it was going to be a go. So now we are the official Colts show for IndyTV out of ZTV. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deal. So if you follow us, follow them. If you're new and you're watching us right now, make sure you bring in your comments, because that's one of the biggest things that we like to do is talk to you all in the comments. Speaking of comments, where the hell is Chad?
He's late too.
Yeah.
It must be one of those Saturdays, man. Must be one of those Saturdays.
He saw that we weren't in, so he said, I'm going to sit this one out, boys.
All right, I give up.
He didn't even leave his usual message that he does on YouTube.
Yeah, he usually leaves one like 30 minutes before.
Yeah.
We're hurt, Chad. We're hurt.
Come on, Chad.
Disappointed. What are you drinking there, Trev?
Just a little rum and soda, something light. Something light.
All right.
Drowning away my sorrows of last week's highway robbery.
Yeah.
What's up to our guy Joey? Popping in the comments first here, and girl Christina, hey, how you doing tonight?
Man.
Welcome to the show, folks.
You know, I still can't believe that we lost that game last week, just because I feel like we had that thing in the bag.
Yeah.
But I don't want to completely blame the refs, because if you go back and you watch the tape, man, I feel like we could have put that game away so many times. And I think that was why it was so frustrating for me, because it was like first quarter, I felt like we were putting it away. We were going to run away with it. Then second quarter, felt like we were going to do the same.
Letting him back in.
Well, Myles Garrett happened. That's the Myles Garrett effect. And then the third quarter, I was like, oh, yeah, we started stealing momentum again. And then Myles Garrett happened. And then fourth quarter, oh, yeah, here we go. 38-30. This is it.
And still. And it's one of those things, too, where it's like people talk about it shouldn't be in the hands of the refs because you should do something earlier in the game to separate yourself from that one play that the refs can call, which I understand. Like, we could have done that, but at the end of the day, like, you're in the NFL, like, everybody's good. It's going to be a one-possession game at some point or in some game, and in that situation, you want the refs to be able to make the right call.
Right,
like,
and
that's not what happened.
And here's my issue with that call, and this is the reason why that I think that call should be considered the reason we lost, because of the strip sack.
Yeah.
It was a call that negated a strip sack, which did
game ender.
That would have been a game ender.
Yeah.
It's not like it was an incomplete pass and then a bad call.
It was a turnover.
It was a turnover. It was a strip sack, bad call. Game
could
should
not
have
be
been
a
over.
bigger moment. Yeah.
We should have been coming out to kneel it right there.
And it's one of those things too, man, where like hand fighting happens every play, holding happens every play. And it's like if you're not going to call it all game, but then call it in the most consequential moment of the game, that's where people are like, "Hey, what's going on here? Like this guy's got a parlay on the game or something, right?" Like that's where you have to question.
Especially when it's that questionable of a call.
Yeah,
I mean they barely even touched each other.
Yeah, if anything, like Cooper initiated the hand fighting, and then it just went haywire from there. But you hate to see it.
Turnovers. That's what killed Indianapolis.
I agree.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Zach.
Like, had Indy, I mean, I read a comment where someone was like, well, if Bernie didn't give up that strip sack, maybe. True. But, like, that's Minshew's Achilles heel so far. Bro is sloppy with the ball. I don't care about the picks. Picks happen. But, like, anytime he gets hit, I feel like,
it's coming loose.
It's coming loose. High and tight. I mean, had Indy not had the turnovers, in my doubt, we would have won that game. We could have put that game early.
Blowout.
And then You can't stop a freak like Myles Garrett. All right, Myles Garrett was playing in a LT level type stuff, Lawrence Taylor type level. To jump over an offensive line and block a field goal just for shits and giggles.
Hey, you know the funny thing about that?
Like that's crazy. Go ahead, DeMarco.
You know the funny thing about that is somebody tried to sit there and say, "Oh, Jim Schwartz is so good. He did X, Y, Z, blah 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 blah." I'm like, bro, how many defensive coordinators is calling their defensive end to jump over an offensive line? Like, you sound ridiculous. Let's just be real that you had Myles Garrett, you had an alien over there, and if we would have had our alien, maybe things would have been a little bit different.
I mean,
I sit here and try and call one guy for that. I did want to say shout out to Kevin. Just seeing you in the comments. Good evening to you as well. Don't know if you're new, but I haven't seen your name before, so shout out to you for being here. And what's up, Terry? But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny that they were like, shout out to Jim Schwartz for calling X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, bro, Myles Garrett jumped over that line. Like you don't
carve your defense up.
We had Schwartz dotted up. Yeah,
that's the number one defense in football, and we put 39 on their head.
Yeah,
I do also
on their head.
I do also want to say shout out to Schwartz for that because one of the Browns reporters asked him what went wrong going against Indianapolis and their offense going crazy. He said everything. Yeah. Everything. We couldn't stop the pass. We couldn't stop the run. Like they killed us. Shout out to him for actually addressing that. But some people just report whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Colts played well enough to win the game, man. It's one of those things where obviously turnovers kill us. We talk about it every week. Can't turn the ball over to win football games. Understand that. And then in the most consequential moment of the game, we get two of the worst calls I've seen all season, if not ever. And I mean, that's the nail in the coffin. So it is what it is. You could say we got screwed. I think we got screwed, but at the end of the day,
pick me. I only think one of those calls was a bad call. And I'll say that, like, you know, where you make contact, I get it. Where Cooper initiated the contact and Baker pushed back. Okay, that's fine. I'll give you that. You know, when in doubt, you lean the offense the receiver's way. That's fine. But the uncatchable, that ball was 9 feet
in the
11.5 inches high. And you're going
literally into the stands.
Right. One of the fans got a game ball.
Right. That's a souvenir ball. Like you take that home to grandma and be like, look, grandma, this is what I got at the game. That's like you're going to throw a flag on that? Yeah. That's trash. What's up, Tristan?
What's up, Tristan?
What's up, Terry?
Yeah, I also just wanted to say I personally believe both calls were wrong. And the NFL even admitted to them. And me personally, in my opinion, I think both of them were bad calls. And just the fact that the NFL came out and admitted it was just another one of those things. But I also do at the same point, I agree with Zach to the point where turnovers have been my keys to the game each and every week this season. Yeah. And when we haven't turned it over, we're 3-0. And when we've lost our turnover battle, we're 0-4. Yeah. So
very clear cut.
It's just been straight to that point. We just don't have the talent right now at X position. I'm just going to say quarterback. Yes, Gardner Minshew is a good one. He's efficient for us, but we don't have the extra type of abilities to just boom and make plays like the Josh Downs play that we had or the Michael Pittman play. We normally don't get those. So if we continuously get those, then maybe we might have a little bit bigger margin for error. Also, we need our defense to start coming through in the last 2 minutes of halftime and fourth quarters to start making some stops to give us some of that room as well. So it just goes back to what Zach said. Turnovers is just got to be something that we got to get down and fix. That the backpedaling with Minshew, that's one of the ones that's the one that I hate the most. He's done it against Baltimore 3 times. He's done it against the Browns once. It's just
I can't put one of those.
He's holding the ball in the defensive end. Like that's the worst position you have to be in, to be backpedaling, looking this way, because the defender's coming right to you and they're just going to slap the ball out whether you have 2 hands on it or not. That's just the one that just pisses me off. And every time I see him doing the backpedal, it just kills me.
I can't put one of those turnovers on Minshew. I'm going to put one on Shane for that play call down at the end zone, down at the goal line. You're running a play action pass.
Okay, but
I felt like he set up Minshew for failure because the defense has got their ears pinned back. They're going to pass rush. they're going to come at you. And what are you doing running play action, Shane? You're getting greedy. And I'm all for, wanting a big play to get out of your own end zone. But in that situation, in my opinion, it'd been safer to run the ball or throw something quick instead of a play action pass.
I mean, especially with how JT was playing too.
Here's the issue. Here's my issue with everything that's being said. It goes back to the back pedal. You can see when Gardner knows there's a blitz coming because he doesn't even try to get his footwork properly.
He panics.
He instantly backpedals from the snap of the ball. And when you backpedal, where are you going to go? Every time he backpedals, I know he's about to get sacked. It happens every single time.
Hey, real quick, boys, got an update here. Michael Thomas has reported an illness, and he is now questionable for tomorrow's game versus the Colts.
Surprise, surprise.
Michael Thomas is questionable. Receiver for the Saints.
So Olave is going to get 150 yards.
Bro, he got arrested. Is he even eligible to play?
Yeah, I guess
he
so.
shouldn't be facing anything.
If he's not in prison.
It's just a fat ass ticket is all that is.
Fair enough. All right, I didn't know.
Yeah, he'll face that consequence. I mean, they might institute something like they did with Kamara down the line.
Hey,
where he gets
get your questions in, guys. We're gonna start answering them here soon. Get your questions.
Hold on. I do want to say something about what Zach's mom just said. I think that's Zach's mom.
No, his dad.
His dad. My pops.
So, Dad. It's funny. This is why I hate when everybody's like, "Oh, Minshew needs to throw for 300 yards." He loses every time.
Yeah.
So far.
Throw for your measly little 150 yards. That means we're winning the game.
Just give me 150.
No, not 150. Not 150. We want that 232. 232.
Give me
that 175. I'll meet you
as long as it ends in 0 turnovers, I don't really care. Just handle the ball and give it to the running back, and we'll probably be all right.
Trev made the biggest point. Hey, shout out to everybody that's viewing right now. We got 31 viewers. I appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate that. I think that might be the biggest that I've seen since we started going. So appreciate all of y'all. But yeah, Trev nailed it on the head. Just don't turn over the ball. But real quick, wanted to jump in here to some of you guys. I see some of you guys back. Nathan, me and you had a little back and forth last week. But yeah, it's good to see JT back. Like I said, they split carries and he's still going crazy.
He fumbled
Tristan
too
is
much
saying that he's fumbled.
Talking about Gardner.
Gardner fumbled too much.
That's
like
fair.
I said, I do not like the back pedal because, like I said, it's the worst position you can be in as a quarterback. And then to Zach's point about putting it on Shane, I would like to say I could put it on
just
Shane.
that play call. Just that one play call.
No. I totally get you. And if we split it up and did like a percentage, I'm gonna do 60-40 and give 40% of the blame to Shane for calling that on the goal line, and then 60% to Minshew because, for one, you're a veteran quarterback. What do you need to know on the goal line? Get the ball out quick. So yeah, you want to try and take a shot as a play caller, but I'm expecting my quarterback to know, like, hey, you gotta clock. You got a 2-second clock. Get rid of the ball.
And too, if he gets to the line and he sees those ears pinned back, he knows what's coming. Like,
check
call it
out
audible,
of it.
man.
Check out of it. I don't understand why he's
you got a workhorse back there, JT and Zach.
Exactly.
Like I said, almost every sack he takes and he fumbles it, he knows it's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
And he freaks out.
Exactly. And so that's my thing where it's like, so that's my thing. Like, you gotta, he has to know to get the ball out quick, and just because you're responsible for the ball, regardless of what goes on. We all see it as fans. We see what happens when a quarterback make a mistake. Hell, a quarterback can have 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and they lose the game. People are going to be like, oh, your quarterback sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be responsible for it at the end of the day. So just be ready for the ball. But
I still want to say, I'm going to say this, which a lot of people are probably panicking about Minshew because of the fumbles, right?
No.
He fumbled what? Hold on. He fumbled what? Like 3 times?
4 times in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's also accounted for about 7 of our touchdowns.
Yeah. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. I mean, no, I wouldn't call him that. I mean, this is like, we got to remember that this is the most this guy has been seen since his 115 season.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and he wasn't
the
even
inconsistent.
that bad.
Exactly. So we just need to know, like, he's like a Jimmy G to where he's going to try and make the correct play each and every time. But when you have to depend upon a Gardner Minshew to be your guy, you're going to see mistakes happen. It's just how football goes.
You can't ask him to be Superman. You can't ask him to play hero ball.
And this is a huge point that I wanted to make, is that looking at the Jacksonville game and then looking at the Cleveland game, I want to say I loved how we were able to actually
respond.
how we fixed our issues, especially running against the bear. I remember Trev was in the group chat, and I said it straight to him. First play from scrimmage
the
for
game.
Gotta
him.
line up 5-man front.
It wasn't of the game because we started on defense. It was the first play of our first offensive series, and bear front, and we gained 6 yards off of it.
Yeah.
6 yards. I said to Trev, I said, "Hey, bear front first time, 6 yards. I'll take it." And then they only did it maybe 4 or 5 more times after that because we were gaining yards on them. So to me, Shane finally learned how to run the ball against that 5-man front. So now teams can't just get into it and run it against us.
The biggest thing there is Shane ain't Frank. I love it.
Right.
Thank God.
Hey, let's get to some of these
real
questions.
quick. Yeah, I was just about to say, Terry is saying here, any clue if the Colts are going to pick up anyone before the trade deadline? Zach, I know you read this one first, so you want to go ahead and comment on that one first?
Any clue? Any insight? No. Do I think they should? Absolutely. Maybe one day we'll have insiders. We'll be able to break it off. But
all right. Well, while we're on this conversation, before we move on to other comments, who would you like to pursue, Zach?
I want Jerry Jeudy. I think he's wasting away in Denver.
Yeah, me either.
I
do. No. So I was just about to say. Hey,
I can't take DeMarco's guy because DeMarco was on him before I was. So Jerry Jeudy
before he got drafted.
Jerry Jeudy is the Bronco I want to see taken offensively because I think he's being used improperly in Denver.
Yeah. So a new report came out that all Broncos are available. So I'm going to let Matt take over on this one because I know he's been scratching at the bit for a while on this guy. So, I'd be fine with Jerry Jeudy, but go ahead, Matt.
So, Jerry Jeudy, I see Tristan here said in the comments also that Terry, I think Jerry Jeudy is heating up. I actually think that's the opposite. I think that Stephen Holder reported recently that Broncos actually reached out to us about Jerry Jeudy, and it wasn't the other way around. So those were all rumors that we were reaching out to them, which we may have reached out to them. But like DeMarco said, everyone in Denver is up for sale right now. They're all on the trade block, everybody, which includes Patrick Surtain. If there's any position that this team needs right now,
corner.
It is a corner because we have 2 wide receivers right now that are just going off with MPJ, and everybody wanted to be upset about his comments about, not being targeted. That man still had 75-something yards and a touchdown last week on like 2 receptions.
One is on pace for 1,000 yards, and the other is on pace for close to 1,000, about 900.
About 900, yeah. So we're good with that. Alec Pierce can keep being his complimentary guy over there.
Let him keep catching every first down. Every pass he catches is a first down.
And we'll keep using Josh Downs and MPJ
Brandon
for touchdowns.
Stokely.
But no, Patrick Surtain, man. I think if we get Patrick Surtain, that changes the whole thing on our defense. Yeah. I mean, right now our corners are.
That's a championship move. Like doing that is a championship building move.
Yeah, so I'm also in that same boat. Matt's been pretty high on him, like he said, since he got drafted. This has been a new thing for me as for the fact that we've literally lost every corner that we've started with. We've literally lost 3 corners if you go back to last March. So it's one of those things where I would be a hell of a fan to go in there and want to be with to get past Surtain. But it probably would likely cost 2 firsts and a player. Yeah. So that's the tough part about going to trade for a guy like that. So like Zach said, Jerry Jeudy, Terry McLaurin, some of those guys. I know Chase Young is out there on the market. So I would say, me personally, anything that would improve this team, hell, even a right guard or a defensive tackle that's a run stuffer, I think helps this team. So if I had to go to the highest point, it'd be receiver or corner, though.
What about you, Trev?
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Trev didn't give his.
Yeah, first, I don't think we do make a move. I think traditionally we're kind of a wait-and-see team, maybe a little bit too much even. So I don't see us making a midseason trade. But if we do, obviously Pat Surtain is a dream, but probably a pipe dream. I don't know if
that's
that
a pipe dream for sure. That's like me being Super Mario going boop, boop, boop.
Yeah. so if we did, I would 100%. I agree with what DeMarco was just saying. Probably like a veteran DT, something like that, to try to fill up that, provide some depth there. But
as long as we show that we still going to keep competing on the season. Yeah. Gotta be the move. Rod was saying Colts need to run the ball. I think if we keep that split that we had on Sunday, which was 40 rushes to about 23 passes.
That's
where the Colts want to be. We will win a lot of football games playing the way we played on Sunday, as long as we don't turn over the ball 3+ times. The Colts are actually 5-55 since about 1982 or 87. Can't remember the exact year. So 5-55 when they turn over the ball 4+ times. So that's just not our recipe.
All right. So Daniel here says, I'm 1 of 31. What are your keys to victory from a defensive perspective? DeMarco, you want to say this one?
I was just about to say, Daniel, if you want to stick around, I think we might want to save this for the second hour when we get into the Saints. But I'll give you a little bit of keys. I think that we need to do more pretty much every week. That it seems like it's still happening. So I would say number one, I think we all would agree on this. It's going to be Gus Bradley. He has to get back to what he did against Baltimore, mixing up coverages, sending blitzes versus quarterbacks that he should, mixing up the fronts, being more multiple and showing different things. If you want to stick to your base cover 2, cover 3, whatever, do your thing, bro. But in that front 7, let's mix it up. Let's move some people around. Let's make fronts look different. Let's confuse some people. Number 2 would be to fix this miscommunication issue. It seems like every week we have a miscommunication on the back end, and I want to say I understand it. Like, we keep losing a cornerback or a safety each and every week. This is the NFL, bro. Get it together. Guys shouldn't be confused every week.
Yeah.
Number 3, stop giving up big plays in the fucking passing game when the game is on the line. Halftime, fourth quarter, stop giving up the big play. Those would be.
I'll say this. My main key is putting the ball in Derek Carr's hands.
Let him.
He kills us, man.
No, put the game in his hand because he'll lose it. Have you watched him at all this year?
He killed us with the Raiders. He is not killing us with the Saints.
No.
He ain't got Hunter Renfrow no more.
He may have killed us with the Raiders, but we usually still won those games. He just put up a lot of points, and they were shootouts.
Well, not even points, just yards. A lot of yards.
Yeah.
I think I want to say what?
Yeah,
the max. I want to say the max between the Raiders and Colts. I want to say on any given game, I think was the 34 we had on them in like 2019 in Vegas.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right, Joshua here says, do you think Shaq is slowly getting back to himself? Last 2 games, he has been way better, by the way. Love the show. Look forward to it every week.
Hey, appreciate you, Joshua,
first
of all. Appreciate you.
I do want to say, yeah, I've seen Shaq get better. I think it was against Jacksonville. I think I first said something to DeMarco where I was like, I think we're getting Shaq back.
Yeah.
Game.
That man was all over the place. And then last week, again, all over the place. And he's starting to feel his confidence. He's starting to yap more.
Yeah.
He's not so quiet. You can hear him.
Come on, man.
Yeah, talking shit. You can hear him, and
You're
great.
hearing his name called too. Like, he's actually making plays again. So those first couple weeks he was quiet out there.
Darius is sneaking through. All right, Darius is sneaking through.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see him keep building on what he does. And then real quick, one more from Daniel. He said, if Gardner is Jimmy G, that means our guys are. That means guys are in our strong system. If you're referring to Jimmy G from San Fran, let's go. So yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I mean. The Jimmy G from SF, just because of the fact that he's going to be a game manager. All you want him to do is be a pure point guard and get the ball to playmakers each and every down. You don't want to have him try and be a playmaker, but you don't want to simplify this offense. So this goes back to what happened to us versus Jacksonville that Matt had brought up, and then we changed it back versus the Browns. So if you guys notice, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, we kind of just made Minshew a pocket passer, didn't really use any RPOs, didn't move Minshew around much at all. Matt didn't like that at all. He made a comment on it on the show last weekend, and then boom, we come out against the Browns, and Minshew has 2 rushing TDs, and it is looking like God damn it! I just forgot his name. What's his name from the Replacements that Keanu Reeves was playing? Yeah. He started looking like Shane Falco, making people miss and stuff. So yeah, that's just one of those things. I don't want to say exactly like Jimmy G because I think Gardner Minshew's a good guy. I mean, Jimmy G's not even bad, but I just mean to say like he's pretty much just going to be the distributor. Just get the ball to guys and let them work.
Listen, the reason I wanted him to start using his legs was because it opens up the run game for you. So the moment he started running for touchdowns, and they weren't just like 2-yard touchdowns. Like he had like what, a 12-yard, 13-yard touchdown.
17-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it's one of those things where now you have to respect it because he might start keeping it, and if he starts keeping it, you got to be, weary of that. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want him to be rushing for 50, 60 yards a game, but every once in a while you got to take it off the edge so that the defense respects it, and it worked.
Absolutely.
Did you all practice this week to be ready for Sunday?
Over under 2 touchdowns for Minshew tomorrow?
I'm gonna say under, just because I think that secondary is very good. I think he gets 1, but we'll probably look to run it in the end zone more once we get down to that red zone as opposed to passing it in. So I'll probably say 1 touchdown.
That Saint front line is soft, so I fully expect that run game to hopefully beast and feast, man. This is a physical, tone-setting game, in my opinion. You just run away from.
Not use that. Go ahead. Keep going.
I mean, Chris Lundy likes to talk a lot of junk, but
Oh no,
bro.
I was talking about Christina. I thought Gardner Minshew was your boy. Now he a turnover machine.
Chris Lundy talking a lot of junk, man.
Hey, Matt, you got that Homer Simpson?
I mean, we don't. We don't show up and talk junk and podcasts because, like, I mean, that's just not what we do.
Yeah, we're one of those.
Hey, we owe y'all some.
We can
We owe y'all
have
some
it.
get back. We owe y'all some get back, Chris.
Aints are showing up to Indy. We're gonna run all over y'all. Like, it's happening.
Chris says in the comments, did y'all practice this week to be ready Sunday? Yeah, absolutely, man. I was out there doing my 10-yard outs. I was conditioning and everything. So look for me to suit up and make a real difference.
See,
you're a keyboard warrior, homie. Get him. I
thought about practicing, and then I saw y'all had a 30-year-old Tyrann Mathieu out there. So I just said I'll get up on Sunday morning feeling fresh.
Yeah.
Man, I'm worried. Taysom Hill's gonna tear us up. Oh no!
I mean,
but our guy David here is saying, "Hey lads, I would like to ask the Colts to win or lose comfortably. I can't stand these close games early in the morning.
You ain't lying.
Last week I needed a defibrillator.
I told y'all last week.
Hey.
Y'all last week on the show. I said this is going to be the longest game of our lives, and I didn't expect it to be long with a lot of
shootout.
Scoring.
Yeah,
I expected it to be long with low score. Remember, I predicted like 19-16 or some shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember Chad tagged me in something at the end of the game, and he was like, "Bro, you were right, bro. It was a 4-hour long game, man.
Took forever."
Hold on, excuse me. I'm about to lose my cool just because I want to. You mean 30-year-old Pro Bowl? Taysom Hill has 1 Pro Bowl. 1.
You must know. You know this dude, huh?
No, I have no clue. I just hate idiot people who talk like they think they know. Bro, the Aints ain't been good since Breeze. You guys scrambled, and then you go out and get Derek. I'm mid.
They're doing the same thing the Colts did.
You're going to have 7 years of bad luck if this continues, man. Yeah, your secondary is good, but your D-line trash. Offensive line can't block nobody. I don't even know who your running back is besides Kamara. You shut him down, the offense don't go nowhere.
They got Jamal Williams.
I don't even care. Don't even matter. He's hurt.
Hey, Tristan, are you talking about Alec Pierce?
I'm sure he is, man.
I mean, he ain't hard.
Exactly, Joey. We didn't need to practice for the Saints. It's not a rough one, man.
It's not even the Saints. They're the Aints, man. They don't win no more.
My 40-year-old Hemi would be all right.
Hey, we just put 38 on the number 1 defense. And
we're not really worried about Saints defense.
Imagine the number 4 defense. I expect 444 yards and 44 points.
62 points.
I did also want to say, David, they don't call us the cardiac Colts for no reason, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta take a deep breath every once in a while. Just don't get too high or too low. You know it'll all even out.
You all have 2 wins. Who have you guys played all year?
We have 3 wins, the same as you. You're 3-4.
They haven't played.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Chris, just stick around, bro. We will talk the Saints game in a little while. We'll dig deep into it. We got plenty to say. So
y'all gave up a bunch of picks from Ricky Williams and did nothing with them.
Dude's just yapping. He talking about wins from 6 years ago with players that aren't even on the team anymore. And then he said we have 2 wins, so clearly
we have 2 wins.
Yeah,
it's all right, and hey, appreciate you tuning in to the Colts podcast, though.
At least know your shit,
so,
man.
Welcome, brother.
Shut up.
We appreciate you though. But anyways, moving on from Mr. Saint, we'll see y'all on Sunday. Hopefully you come back next week after that L that y'all take. I want to see if you still got the same mouth. So how are we feeling about the offense this past week? Outside of everything, I know we had the way to end the game. We didn't get it the way we wanted to. And then we score, give the ball back to the Browns, let them end it. But overall, outside of the turnovers, how are we feeling about the offense?
I mean, it definitely looked a lot better as opposed to the Jacksonville week, man. Again, aside from the turnovers, but we moved the ball efficiently. We were scoring in the red zone. We're damn near scoring at will, what it looked like against what is, up to that point, the best defense in the NFL. So it was definitely encouraging to see that bounce back from the previous week.
So I know there was a little bit of a panic when it came to Freeland. He got beat up by Myles Garrett, but I mean, any offensive lineman.
It's Myles Garrett. He's a freak. And we said the previous week too, like, look, Myles Garrett is gonna get his. All right, so we just gotta try to beat everybody else. And I think we did that.
My only concerns still are in the secondary. Like if you take aside those last two penalties on that last drive, we let PJ Walker walk down the field at ease.
He looked like he was playing the XFL again, man.
Yeah,
and
really the only thing that drove me a little crazy was the defense. Offensively, I think I was okay with it. I don't think we really had that many issues last week outside those turnovers.
Yeah, and I think also for Blake Freeland, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy is an all-pro next year. I mean, if you look at some of the matchups he has to go in and face since he started, man, this has been a real trial by fire each and every week to see him play through. So, yeah, I agree. Thought the offense was pretty damn legit. Now, how are we feeling about this defense? The pass rush hasn't been as nearly as it was nearly as good as it was the first 4 weeks of the season. We've been getting a couple sacks and whatnot.
That's because, like I said before, right? I want to make a point.
Solid.
I want to make a comment on this because that's a valid point. If you remember the first 4 weeks, our secondary was a little bit more solidified, and they were doing things on the back end that was allowing our pressure to get there. A lot of the sacks early on in the season were definitely coverage sacks. As we started to lose corners, and now we're down to, Jalen Jones and Old Baker, sacks aren't coming as much because quarterbacks are being able to get the ball where they want it to be.
They get those quick
reads. Know what I mean? Yeah. Right. They're getting everything they want. So
hey, hold on real quick, man. Hey, look, man, I understand you upset or whatever, but let's keep it cool in here, man.
We didn't play last week.
We're a fan show. We respect everybody's comments and whatnot. But if you're going to keep talking like that and being disrespectful, man, you can get up on out of here, and I hope you keep losing money every week.
I'm not finished.
Just chill out. We ain't going to keep doing this, man.
We're not going to derail the whole show because somebody wants to mention, bro.
My bad, Matt. Go ahead.
Keep making bad bets. It's all right.
But, yeah, man, I mean, that's really how it is. I think what we need to do is we need to fix what's going on in the secondary. Gus needs to go ahead and start mixing up coverages and stop leaving these rookies out there to hang to dry, I mean, each week they're playing somebody that's elite, right? I don't care what anybody says. Amari Cooper's elite. That man was elite in Dallas, and he's elite over there in Cleveland. Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of statistics right now because his quarterback situation over there in Cleveland is pretty fucked up.
But just his ability, 100% elite.
He has the ability to take over a game as a wide receiver. So that man's elite.
He was locked up until Juju went out.
Yeah. So and then the week before that, you got either Christian Kirk or you got motherfucking Calvin Ridley, whichever one you want to pick. And this week we're gonna have Olave. So.
Yeah,
we gotta figure out what's going on in the secondary. Gus needs to figure that secondary out, and he needs to do it quick because our sacks aren't going to come as much unless we play quarterbacks that panic. And right now, Derek Carr is not one of those that's going to panic.
No.
But to be fair,
Derek Carr don't scare me, man.
No, he don't scare me either. I'm not saying that.
No, he's just saying that Derek Carr and Chris Olave are good enough to do exactly what the Titans did with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes. Right. And we still could win with that, but at the same point, like I said last week, we can go ahead and let one guy get 120 yards receiving, and I'm okay with that because we've shown that we're going to do that, and we're still going to have the ability to win at the end of the game. But like against the Saints, their offensive line is trash. So at the same time, we should be able to get loads of pressure tomorrow.
Yeah,
absolutely. Offensive line been terrible.
I think too, like just rushing forward. Go ahead, DeMarco.
Oh no, I was just saying, got to take advantage of a bad offensive line because
Yeah.
the last time we had a chance to do that, the Rams made adjustments and we didn't really tear apart Matthew Stafford like we would have liked to.
Right.
But go ahead, Trev. How you feeling
Yeah.
about this defense?
Defensively, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'll tell you that much. And it has been a surprise. Just going on with the last comment. Saints O-line is usually a staple. Like they're usually very strong. And this year, I don't know if it's they don't like Derek Carr or something. I don't know, but he's getting tore up back there. So I think tomorrow defensively, look for a big edge rusher day. Look for us to get a lot of pressure just rushing forward. I don't think we need to bring in blitzes. I don't think we need to bring down Kenny Moore or anything. I think we can just rush forward and get the pressure that we need.
Yeah, how you feeling about this defense, Zach?
Our defense or the Saints?
Our defense. So, like I was saying, the first 4 weeks we had, we were tied for
I
second with
think
the lead
as
leading
long
sacks.
as long as we get them off the field and they're not put in bad positions, Indy will be fine. If they're not put in short fields, Indy will be fine. I mean, I do worry about Baker's side, but I think that the coaching staff can make adjustments to help Baker out so he's not completely screwed. But as long as we don't put the defense in a bad spot, between the 20s, our defense is fine. It's in the red zone that I worry about the defense.
That's because the majority of the time that they're in the red zone, it's off of a turnover.
Right.
Yeah.
So that dude's got to come out here and change the pace real quick.
Also, those 2-minute defenses at the end of
Right.
the game, the end of halftime. That was one of those things that we need to
Struggled
correct. Real quick, Nathan is commenting here, said, as Colts fans, are you worried about the comments that Pittman made, said
not at all.
last week that he's not getting the ball thrown to him? So, yeah, like Matt said, not at all. Not worried about it. Shane even spoke on it. He said he'd love to have guys that rather would want the ball rather than sit quietly and timid about it. He knows Pittman is a big part of this offense, and look what he did with one of those catches that he had. So we're going to get the ball to him. I wouldn't be surprised. I told somebody this before, if he had like 12 to 15 targets this week. So wouldn't be surprised at all.
And I'll say, too, just as far as the locker room goes, I mean, he's a leader back there. It is on him to speak up when he feels that something's not right. And if he feels like he's not being used in the offense enough, it's on him to hold the team accountable as well. Like, hey, I can do more for this, and hold himself accountable. I can do more here. So, yeah, I don't see it as a problem at all.
Yeah, Myles Garrett was a monster last week. Like I said, refs definitely screwed it. But it would have been nice to not have those turnovers and kill it. Nathan, his team, he's an Aints fan, but just ignore him, man. Blowing up the comments, being
we're not derailing our show for anybody.
Man, we come in for fans here, and we're all for banter and stuff like that. But don't be childish. Just kind of dumb there. All right, looks like we got nothing too much there. So yeah, I think the defense has to get back to putting pressure. I think a big part is losing Grove, but I think we also we haven't had the same type of pressure and whatnot that we were getting since Kwity had that first concussion. So I definitely like to see Kwity come back and have a big game, and then have Buckner keep doing what he does, and then we need another defensive tackle to step up. Samson Ebukam has been a staple. He's been pretty much solid and consistent in each and every game. Our linebacking core is, I'm gonna call it the best in the league. I don't care who.
I'm with that.
Go argue with your mama. I'm not here for the argument.
Our front seven is better than anything New Orleans offensive line can handle. So, like, up front, I fully expect us to feast. Even with Grover out, I think we have enough bodies, and Taven Bryant has played well enough in the rotation that they have that we should be okay. I mean,
last week the defense played all right against the run, except for one play.
Yeah,
right.
So like one of their first plays too.
Yeah, it was the first drive, and it was like 59 yards, and then after that,
Something
I think
like
they had a total of
didn't get anything else.
20,
right.
25.
Whatever side Daryl Baker lines up is the only side that concerns me on our defense, because beyond that, we are fine. As long as we don't give the defense short fields, I truly think we can beat New Orleans handily.
And just going on Baker too, we've said it every week. A big thing that we've seen from this team and from Shane Steichen is accountability and like fixing things when they're clearly wrong. Clearly, Baker was burnt toast last week. In addition to the flags, even though they were bad flags, whatever. Baker didn't have a good game last week, so tomorrow, look for him to either step up and play much better because the coaches have gotten on his ass, or look for whoever else we have to line up out there.
But here's the thing, we don't have anyone else.
I know.
We don't.
It's a
Baker's
tough
like
spot to be in, but
I'm pretty sure we have like 3 corners, and that's including Kenny Moore.
Tony Brown.
Oh well, we did elevate somebody. So
we got Tony Brown, and we just elevated Chris Lamons, the guy that got arrested. The guy that got arrested with Alvin Kamara.
Why did Isaiah Rodgers have to be stupid, bro?
I tell you what, man, it would be a completely different defense.
God, we'd be at least 5-2 right now. Like
we'd be legit. We'd be legit.
Man. One of those would have been, could have been.
Flowers going down. Have Juju on the other side. Isaiah Rodgers, man, we'd be fine.
Nah, remember with Isaiah Rodgers. Remember with Isaiah Rodgers, history changes everything. So maybe even Flowers don't get hurt. So
Jordan,
man, but
Jordan Kibbe brings up a good point. He says, I think they'll play Blackman more to Baker's side just to give that help. That's something that I've been wondering too, is if we shift safeties over to help at all. But then you put yourself in the position to be in single high where offense
just play
take
3
advantage
safety.
of. So could do that too. There's options there to provide help. But the only issue is when you provide that help, it's somewhere that safety could have been that he's not now. So it's risky.
Maybe it's that time to move Baker back to safety and put Blackman out there.
I mean, if it keeps going the way it is.
You said move Baker to safety?
Yeah, he doesn't have to do much but play zone.
Just bring Nick in, and then you take Baker off the field entirely.
Take Baker off the field entirely, and then go ahead and put Julian Blackman over there at corner. He'll be all right.
Have a good one, Terry. Thanks for listening.
I appreciate you, Terry, for coming in. Go Colts. Yeah, I know. I seen somebody talking about it before out there, and they were saying move Kenny Moore to outside corner and move Julian Blackman to slot corner or Nick Cross, however they'd like to do it.
It's a possibility.
But I think it's definitely something that's in hand. I think you'd rather just keep the guys you got and move something. I still like Chris Ballard to go out and sign Casey Hayward, and that would literally fix this problem.
I'll trade next year's first rounder for Patrick Surtain right now.
Casey Hayward.
Greedy Williams.
Well, like I said, what's the name? They're probably going to want 2 first. So I'm just talking from a veteran perspective who's already been in a defense with Gus Bradley.
There's guys out there.
I think Casey Hayward would be an easy solution to that. And then, like Trev said, you get a young corner and a Greedy Williams that could just need a change of scenery.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? We got nothing else to lose over there. Like, bring somebody in, golly.
Exactly, because you keep seeing corners hurt. You don't want guys working at Foot Locker and then coming and playing in the DB room.
That's kind of where we're at.
It's just an ugly situation right there.
Yeah, Jordan, I agree, man. I don't want to see Kenny out of the nickel either. Personally,
I could do better than Baker. So you can take me out the army, and I'll go play some corner at 5'8".
No ACL.
I'm about $170. It'll be all right. If I get an interception, I'm laying straight down. I don't want to get hit.
100%. I'm not moving at all.
I'll chop shit out your hands though.
I'm gonna just jam them at the line. After that, whatever happens is between
I hope there's a safety. I hope there's a safety.
I got nothing after that. Yeah.
I'm burnt toast at that point. If I can't manhandle the line, I'm done.
Yeah, Kevin, I agree, man. I don't see Ballard getting rid of his first-round picks to go get PS2. As cool as it would be to get a player like Surtain, that's just not the move that the Colts typically make.
Yeah. I just think the price for getting Surtain is going to cost too much. But where are we looking at? Looks like Nathan is getting into it here. Nathan is asking how many turnovers do we think Carr will have? What do you think will be the matchups that you guys are looking for, Colts versus Saints?
So I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question first.
I also say 2.
I'm saying 0. I don't think Derek Carr turns the ball over at all.
Oh, I do.
I think if there's someone who turns the ball over, it's going to be one of the skill positions.
I can see that.
Unless we get a strip sack. I mean, I could say maybe 1, but I don't see anyone getting an interception unless it's Kenny Moore. I could go with 2 max, but I'm going with 0 most likely.
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing as Trev. I was going to say a strip sack fumble and then an interception.
That's why
that was going to be my 2. Because I think if Derek Carr doesn't have a turnover, we lose this game.
My key matchup is that secondary versus Olave. Because that's it. I ain't worried about nobody else on that offense but Olave. I've had him a few times in the daily fantasy matchups because that dude puts up.
So I will say what I'm worried about as far as just individual players is Alvin Kamara leaking out, because we saw from their previous game, he got like 12 targets. And not even in the running game, in the passing game, I'm worried about Kamara leaking
Check
out
down
and then getting
Charlie.
those yards. Yeah, getting those yards after catch, because we've seen like Carr this year cannot complete a downfield pass unless it's to Chris Olave fixing it for him. But I am worried about Kamara.
Here's my rebuttal. Here's my rebuttal to that, right? We don't let up very many yards or anything to running backs when it comes into the passing game. And the reason is our linebackers play so shallow. That's why the middle of our field is always wide the fuck open. Yeah. Because our guys they play up.
I just don't think we've faced a running back with the pass catching ability of Kamara. So I'm interested to see if it still holds up to a guy of that caliber. But I agree, we're a good matchup for it. But that's the matchup that I'd be watching, is our linebackers versus Kamara in the passing game.
Yes, Nathan, Olave is the one who got arrested.
Defensively, our defense versus New Orleans offense, I don't care. Don't care, because I think honestly, I think all that matters, as long as the Colts get like a pick or some form of turnover, the game's over. Because outside of Kamara, you let Olave get his yards, and then you just shut everything else down. That's in my opinion. In my opinion, you let Olave have 235 yards, no TDs, and you shut everything down. And then
I would say you don't want to undersell them, because they will get their yards. Like, they have talent at those positions. So if you play off them too much and they get those yards, before you know it, they're constantly in the red zone. And at the end of the day, they're gonna get something. So you don't want to undersell it too much. Like, they do have talent over there. It's just
if Carr gets hurt and Jameis Winston goes in, Colts are getting 30 picks on me.
Yeah.
Mr. 30-30. Please stop.
I will say this. I want the Saints offense to have the ball last.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Because Carr chokes.
We've seen it.
Almost every game this year he chokes. So,
and listen, I've been waiting to make this point too. The guys on here know. Chris Lundy doesn't know. I'm from Louisiana. I regularly watch the Saints, and this team has the worst body language of any NFL team I have seen this year or in a long time. This team does not like each other. All right, I don't care what you say. Those receivers don't like Derek Carr. Derek Carr doesn't like his O-line. None of them like the coach. I'm not worried about that offense.
Derek Carr hates Olave.
Yeah. Yeah, they're yelling at each other all game.
Yep.
So yeah, it's something crazy, man. I think in order to really frustrate Carr, like we have to pressure them early, obviously. Get in their heads, right? Piss them off, whatever. But what I'm really looking for is something that we've struggled at, is covering the sidelines. What we've seen from Derek Carr this year is he can't make these sideline throws. So he's going to have to go to the middle. We didn't have a good game there last week. We let up a couple of just easy passes.
They haven't had a good game in the middle at all.
All year our defense has been getting exposed over the middle, man.
For the last 5 years.
and that's why I say I'm worried about Kamara if he leaks out to that zone and starts catching passes over there. But he needs to hit these sideline throws, and he can't. So if we can force him into those, I'm not worried about their offense at all.
It's Carr's footwork.
I mean, they want Jameis Winston to play.
If you ever watch Carr's footwork, it's sloppy. It's not 3 steps in a hitch. It's not 5 steps in a hitch. It's just sloppy. So he misses a lot of throws that others would make. I mean,
Chris, I couldn't agree more, man. If Carr gets hurt and Winston goes in, call it a night. Yeah, 100%. If Winston goes in, it's a night. The game's over, and the Colts will be 500 once again.
Like,
I mean, even with Carr,
I thought he was going to say Winston was going to win.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
That's what I thought he was saying.
He's Mr. 30-30. You're getting at least 30 picks from Jameis Winston. At least 30.
Carr has good pocket presence, but he has no pocket because his offensive line is terrible.
Because his offensive line is trash, homie. How are you going to stop DeForest Buckner? That's a double team. That means we got 7 more guys when you rotate in.
Buckner in the middle, Quiddy Pay off the edge, Samson Ebickim off the edge. We're going to throw Deo in there just to mix you up.
Bro. And then we got Taquan Lewis.
Taquan Lewis.
We got so many bodies. New Orleans has no chance. For being a New Orleans fan, you don't know this team, and it's embarrassing, bro. Study up. Study, son. Get that book out.
Your defense can overcome that, but they couldn't overcome ETN's 50 yards and 2 touchdowns last week.
Right.
But Jordan is saying that I see this as a potential breakout game for Rodney Thomas, where if Julian Blackman to help Baker's side, Then Rodney plays center field, ball hawk, and I think he has a career
Yeah.
day. So I personally want to say I've been disappointed in Rodney Thomas.
What?
I had Guy being a legit breakout player this year, and I just haven't seen it. I thought he was going to continue off of what he did last year, and it just hasn't been close. I mean, obviously it's still early in the season, but I was looking to see the development go from just being a ball hawk to coming up and making plays in the run game, being a more instinctual player, being one of those guys that you can put man to man with a key guy as far as like slot or tight end or something like that in some of these games. And I just haven't seen it. So I hope you're right, Jordan.
Maybe a little bit of
the breakout game that I would have called for personally.
Maybe a little bit of a sophomore slump for him this year. I mean, it has been a little bit of a quiet year. He did have a pick last game that we all agree maybe should have smacked down. But
my boy clearly been drinking since 3 a.m. Like, I'll say
this: the safeties are directly affected by the corners. So
yeah,
I think Julian Blackmon is getting back to form of what we thought we were going to get when we drafted him, because he's been playing pretty damn good all year. But yeah, Rodney Thomas. I mean, he's young. He's just second year. We got rookie corners, second year corner, and it's not. I mean, I can't really blame the safeties for playing whatever.
Hey Matt, you see this comment?
How crazy is it that last year we all were pretty much done? I was not done with Taekwon. Get the hell out of here.
He was hammered.
That's why I'm like you. I guess
maybe some of the rest of us.
I guess this show was in the minority because this was not us.
Jordan, you got to understand, ever since DeMarco has known me, I think he's known me for about 4 or 5 years now, I have been all up on Taekwon.
Taekwon Lewis fan.
I am a huge Taekwon Lewis fan. I always have been. He just had injury issues. That was it. But
every time the dude's getting hurt, he's making a play.
Yeah.
Who tears their damn ACL getting an interception? It's just Taekwon Lewis. It's just his bad luck, man. I'm telling you.
I absolutely love Taekwon Lewis, man. I always have. I mean, I always said my favorite thing about him was the way he seals the edge. It was always one of my favorite things about him.
He said the Colts D line is not a concern.
Will Lemon see the field tomorrow? Probably not. I mean, unless we're in a really drastic situation, I don't think Lemon sees the field that early. Or is it Chris Lamett, something like that?
Dang, Florida got waxed, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't watch
so
any
offensively. I think all the Colts have to do is run the ball.
I hope not.
And I think they'll be hyper successful because the Saints secondary with 8 picks and 12. Right. So I don't expect any to pass, Dad, like at all. You have Jonathan Taylor, the best offensive line in the league, or one of the best offensive line in the league, and a hoss in Zach Moss at running back.
Yeah, but I don't know if Zach Moss is even going to play that much tomorrow.
I mean, I don't really care. It don't matter. You got Jonathan Taylor. Run the wishbone, let it eat.
That's facts.
Let it eat.
Run the wing tee. It don't matter.
Get funky. Put Downs in there at quarterback. Let's get wild. Let's get freaky. Let's do something dumb and run for 400 yards and like 5 touchdowns. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, see, I'd care more about somebody else's defense unless or if I hadn't seen us play against Baltimore already.
Yeah.
Or haven't seen us play against the Browns defense, which was historical.
Yeah, that's all they said.
Giving up only giving up 200 yards per game, which was the best in history by like I want to say 70 yards. Yeah. Giving up 3.8 yards per play, which was best in NFL history since like 1960 something.
16 points. 16 points per game.
16 points per game.
The Browns had a better corner than Lattimore last week in Ward?
Denzel Ward.
Yeah, Denzel Ward. So like Lattimore don't scare me. Take Pittman away. Yeah, we still got a bunch of tight ends and receivers who eat. Like I don't
Marcus May and
he can't cover. Bad
and Tyrann Mathieu are both on the injury report. So to me, I'd be more worried about their defense if we hadn't shown what we could show already.
Yeah, we've seen good defenses.
This isn't one of those things where we got Frank, where we got to worry about everybody else's defensive game plan. For all we know, we don't know what the Colts might show tomorrow. So if we don't know, you definitely your defense don't know.
I don't want to run the ball.
So.
I don't want to throw the ball. I just want the Colts to run it just for an attitude problem. Just to be like, hey, we know we're thugs.
Just piss them off.
He said Chris Lattimore. Oh, man, you meat riding like a motherfucker. Boy ain't been the best since about 2019.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Like, it's his rookie year.
Look,
he needs to cut it out, boy.
And we're not just talking out of our ass. Like, we understand the Saints have a solid defense, but we've played better defenses this year already. In every single game, even the ones we've lost like last week, Shane Steichen has schemed up that defense. So we're at a point now with this team where we can come in with a little bit of confidence and be like, it doesn't matter so much what you have to react to us. We're no longer reactive to the defense. They have to be reactive to us. And that's a good position.
Go ahead and stop our run. No one on that defense has an answer for downs. No one on that defense has the answer for the nastiest white boy in the NFL, Alec Pierce. No one has
and everybody wants to cut.
Right. No one has an answer for Ogletree.
Hey,
okay.
Browns,
Are you talking about? Hold on.
The Browns the Browns were number one until they played the Colts, my boy.
Are you talking about Marshall Lattimore's 1 interception and 7 passes defense this year?
Hey guys, guess what? We're dummies. Hey, I can be a bully too, but I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'll just tell you to your face, bro. Like, I don't have any feelings. So, like, we can do this all day, homie. Like, I don't care.
The Niners lost to the Browns too.
Right.
Jordan says Steichen is just going out there and trying things to see what works, and it's been insane. I mean, yeah, kind of, man. He's gone out there with some interesting ideas that we haven't seen before, and it's cool to see, man. We finally have a coach that's innovative and willing to try it. Maybe a little too risky at sometimes, and it doesn't always pay off. But he's done well. He's done. Yeah, I agree, Joe. Like I said, we're not going to derail our show for somebody. Chris, I love Louisiana, man. Don't make us look bad, bro. Be all right, man.
Steichen's not a dummy. We don't have Frank Reich anymore. We actually have a genius.
You talk about not dummies, yeah. Shane Steichen, man.
Not dummies.
Rookie coach of the year. If that was an award, he'd already have it locked up, man. The difference in this team is night and day.
I think they got a bunch of dummies on offense, but that's just my opinion.
Hey, we can't forget about D'Amico Ryans, though. He's done a pretty damn good job over there in Houston too.
Yeah, he has. That's a fact right there.
He's not a dummy.
No, he's not.
No.
So what going through the line, what would y'all's 3 keys to winning be tomorrow? We'll start with
run the score up, run the score up, and make sure we throw it at Lattimore, and then hit him with the deuce sign.
I like it
because he's not a dummy.
Zach's got time.
Dummy.
Today, Zach's
I got time, folks. Sorry, Chris, you put me in a mood, so you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it.
What about you, DeMarco? What 3 keys you got for victory tomorrow?
So this will actually be the first week that I don't turn over the ball is one of my keys of the week. So I actually feel like that this is one of those teams that are talented, challenged, being the New Orleans Saints. I think they do have some talent, but I don't think their talent is great. I think Olave is good, but I think Olave is good, but I don't think he's necessarily an explosive guy that's literally going to tear you apart that you're literally fearing. Outside of Alvin Kamara, I don't see anything that I really fear about this team. So number one for me is going to be create turnovers, though. Sure. Like I said, I think Derek Carr has 2 turnovers. The Colts offense needs to force 2 turnovers. I think we win this game simply point being on that. I don't think they have that. Number 2, it's going to be explosive. Continue to be this explosive offense that we've seen and shown the couple times that we have. Forces defense to jump off sides, whatever you got to do. Yeah. Create big plays, have big runs. So runs over 12 yards, passes over 20. Keep that trend going. We are one of the most explosive offenses in the league, no matter how anybody wants to look at it or whatever. And then number 3 is going to be have good communication on the back end. This past defense, I want to see it come together. I want to see 4 quarters of play for this team. Put it together. It'll be all right.
How about you, Matt? 3 keys for victory.
My 3 keys for victory are 3 players.
Ooh.
But I'm actually going to go with 4 players. I couldn't just limit to 3. All right, it's going to be 4 players. I don't care about the whole turnover ratio thing this week either because, the Saints just don't really worry me that much. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor as number 1. I'm going with Kenny Moore as number 2. And I'm going with Buckner and Pitti as my number 3.
I like it.
Because their offensive line is trash. Buckner and Quiddy are just going to feast. Kenny Moore is going to, he's going to reap the benefits from Buckner and Quiddy pay feasting.
A lot of his only fast when driving. Quality pops. Quality.
The whole Davis family has time tonight. I love it.
Oh, bro, you don't even know. I got the mic. We got years of this. Why do y'all keep saying the ball?
So
what are you talking about?
So hold
Chris,
on.
Stop talking with your butthole, homie.
So hold on. So tell me the defensive stats prior to last week for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Tell me the Tennessee Titans before we played them.
When was the last time they had a 100-yard rusher or gave up a 100-yard rusher to the Tennessee Titans?
When was the last time the Saints went to the playoffs and
for
did
like 2
anything?
seasons?
Oh no, I'm asking Chris since he knows everything.
Yeah.
Right. When was the last time besides like Archie Manning were they relevant?
But keep going, Matt. Don't let it interrupt you. You were on you had number 1 Jonathan Taylor, number 2 was who?
Yeah, Kenny Moore. I think because of Buckner and Pitti, or Quiddy Pay, I think that Kenny Moore is going to wreak havoc in the secondary because it's going to force Derek Carr to make quick throws, and it's going to be errant throws. And then Kenny Moore's, I think I'm going to say if there are turnovers tomorrow, Kenny Moore is going to force 2 of them.
Which one? I just asked you 3. When was the last time the Saints were relevant? When was the last time they won something? And when was the last time they did anything?
Who was number 3, Matt?
Buckner and Quiddy Pay.
Buckner and Quiddy Pay. So pass rush, basically.
Yeah.
Trev, what are your 3?
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah, my 3 keys. I mentioned them a little bit earlier, but first of all, I want to apply pressure early on in this game and get in their heads. Because like I said, this team has the worst body language in sports right now. So if you can frustrate them early, get them fighting each other as opposed to focusing on the game, it's only going to play to our advantage. So that's the key right off the rip is just get started early, get in Carr's face, get that jersey dirty, piss off everybody. Secondly, I want to force these sideline throws. I saw multiple horrible throws from Derek Carr last week where he's just overthrowing guys and then throws his hands up like it's their fault, like they were supposed to jump 12 feet in the air and pull it down, right? So I want to force these sideline throws, force him to make those throws. Everyone coming into this year said New Orleans needs a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They got Derek Carr. Now they got a quarterback. Myself included, I thought he was going to be better, and he hasn't been. So force him to be that quarterback. Force him to make these tough throws. Don't give up these easy throws in the middle that we've struggled with. And then lastly, no one else said I'm still on until we can do otherwise. I'm still on limit the turnovers. This is a team where the secondary has talent, even though they're a little on the older side. Demario Davis is a linebacker, Tyrann Mathieu in the back, Marcus May in the back, and Lattimore as well. They have the names, right? Like they have the talent in that secondary. Even if they're on the older side, you don't want to give them a chance to make the play on the ball. So play efficient, play safe, take the shots where you can get them and where you have them open, but don't try to force anything against guys that have that experience. So that'd be my 3 keys to victory tomorrow.
All right, I'll give you my serious 3 keys just because, I was trolling the first time because I was a dummy. All right, so dummies, let's listen up here. My first real keys, I want the Colts to run the ball, be physical, bring the fight to New Orleans, punch them in the mouth, make them uncomfortable offensively, what we do offensively. Defensively, I want to apply pressure, and then I don't care how we get it, how it happens. Bring the house, bring 4, whatever it might be. Apply pressure, make Derek Carr do things that Derek Carr does, which is, his best Jameis Winston impression, turn the ball over. And then last but not least, I just want to win. I don't care how we win. Just win. Just win, baby, win. Something the Saints don't know how to do. They've never done. So,
because they dummies.
They dummies. I mean, besides Terry Porter getting lucky on Manning, you're welcome. Who's from IU, by the way, so you're welcome. They shouldn't have never won that Super Bowl. But, hey, every dog gets a day, right? So
now, I will say, just aside from all the silly personal shots and whatever, I'm not going to engage in that. But he is right that him being Chris, he is right that the Saints have played well against the run this year, but I also don't think they played anyone on the level of Jonathan Taylor. And we saw last week that he was really starting to step into his own. So that's another matchup that I'll be interested to see is how can Taylor play now that he's close to 100% against a very solid run defense. So
this won't work. I don't know if you just don't watch football or if you've never seen the Colts play this year. Screens don't work. Every team has tried to screen against us, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's a running back. It doesn't work.
Kenny Moore, 2 words. That's why the screen game don't work.
Zaire Franklin.
I mean, yeah, you got that too. We got a couple 2 words. Yeah, I'm not super worried about that, man. I mean,
the Saints are worse than everyone.
The Saints are different. With losing, they lose every type of way. Homie, you got to come up with better lines. Like, go home, take this pencil, go home and write something original. Dude.
All right, Eminem.
Just feel like 8 miles.
And don't come back till something dope hits you.
Here's a mic.
Yeah, we've heard it all before, bro.
No, some dope has definitely hit this man tonight. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, hey, if I was in the comments, I'd be completely fine going back and forth with the troll and whatnot.
This man acts like we. Yeah, but hold on. This man's literally acting like we do this show and we don't do our homework all week.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly hasn't done his homework.
I don't care about any other team but Indianapolis, and I still think I know more about New Orleans than you do, homie. Like,
here's what's frustrating.
If all Saints fans are this dumb, I feel sorry for Trevor.
That's what I was going to get to. This is the frustrating point for me because, as y'all know, and y'all give me crap for it, and all friendly joking. Saints are my number 2 team, bro. I'm from Louisiana. Like, that's my NFC team. I watch the Saints every week, so I'm not entirely sure what team you're watching, Chris, because it can't be the same team I'm watching, brother. They're in for a tough game tomorrow, and be that as it may, man, Louisiana's gonna be sad tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, you gonna go up into the betting department and lose more money.
He's my AFC team. Get out of here.
Just like you said, the Colts lost you money. I know the Saints lost you money last week because Jacksonville whooped that ass. So
that's crazy, man.
Go ahead and keep putting your money on them Saints, man. They're just gonna keep losing you. But either way, so what else do we have here? We got locks. I have not done well the last 2 weeks.
No, me neither.
Bro, every time I lock somebody, they lose.
I started the season, I think 4-5-0. I have gone 0-2 the last 2 weeks.
This is why I don't put money where my mouth is, because I miss on these locks all the time.
Bro, and I picked an easy one last week.
You would think.
I picked Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened there?
New England. You know what happened? Ridiculous. I picked them.
Shit show.
What happened.
Yeah.
But all right, DeMarco, who's your lock?
So my lock this week, is gonna be funny for your boy over there, Chris. I'm locking the Indianapolis Colts over his Aints. Don't
hammer it.
Lock him.
Zach, who you got?
Go ahead, Chris. Go put your money on
Atlanta
the Colts.
over Tennessee this week.
I almost went the opposite.
Ooh, really?
Almost went the opposite.
Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Tennessee is starting Will Levis. There was a rumor about that they're both of their young quarterbacks are going to miss time.
They're starting Will Levis, yeah.
That could go either way.
I think that's a better start than Malik Willis, but I guess we'll see. But I just think because defensively, I don't care what anybody says, I still think Tennessee's got a solid defense.
Yeah.
And they're still facing Ritter. So
now what does that change with getting rid of Kevin Byard, right?
Because
now that's
right. We don't know how that's going to be affected. Yeah. So, but that's why I didn't go the opposite of Zach.
So I do want to say, from Titans fans' perspective, they said that Kevin Byard has been getting outplayed by his younger counterpart over there this season. No, I mean, I'm taking their word for it because of the fact that I'm not going to sit here and act like I've watched every Tennessee Titan game and know everything that they got going on. But they said this season he has been getting outplayed, and he was a higher money contract. So the way that I see it, this works in their favor to get some younger guys some playing time. So
I mean, it may be
losing. He lost his motivation.
I mean, he probably he could have. It just.
I think
I'm just taking. I'm like it's just like Trev said. I'm taking the guys' words for it who watch their team.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't
With that
necessarily know,
perspective.
but I also know fans have a bad habit of whenever a guy
Except the
gets
Saints,
off their
right?
team,
We ain't taking his word.
whenever a guy leaves the team, everybody goes, "Oh, he was never that good anyway," and just act like he wasn't the star that he was.
So this right here, I'm gonna call you out on this because I have several different apps. I have Sunday Ticket. I stay up from 6:00 in the morning when the London games come on all the way until 8:00 at night until every game goes off. And there's no way in hell that I can watch every single game. You need to stop, man. Like you big time trolling. This is just. I got YouTube TV too, and I would turn my laptop to it, but I don't want us to get shut off of YouTube. But I got YouTube TV as well. Like I said, I watch every single game, so you got to stop the bullshit. Like you've been trolling for too long. Let's get for real here, man. We got a real show. Like, move along, do something, but there ain't no way you're doing that. Like, you can't even watch more than 2 games at once. So,
all right, Trev, who's your lock?
Yeah, my lock tomorrow will be the Baltimore Ravens against the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, it just is what it is. The Cardinals are not a winning football team this year, and last week Lamar looked insane. I mean, he threw his hat. He threw his hat fully in the MVP race, and he's got a good chance. So look for him.
Let's
tomorrow.
go.
Nice.
He's locking the Colts with me. Let's go.
So I'm actually with Trev.
No offense, Trev.
I'm also going the Ravens.
I mean,
what he said,
it's
Arizona. It's Arizona, whether they get Kyler Murray back or not. I don't know if Kyler's playing tomorrow. I know he would practice full time.
They activated him
on Friday.
Sure.
No, he's out.
Is he?
He's out. I mean, they activated him, but he's out.
I thought he was out the whole year.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
He's on the active roster, but he has been out for this week. So he can and might likely play next week.
I will say though, and Jordan kind of says in the comments too. Shout out to Jonathan again, the guy that seemed looking tough when they should be. So I agree, man. Arizona has been in most games when they really shouldn't be. Like, that is just a bad football team. But I was going to say credit to Josh Dobbs for leading the team to this point as well. So I mean, I don't just want to sit here and crap all over Arizona. They got enough going on, man. But yeah, I mean, it should be easy pickings for Lamar tomorrow. That would be my lock.
Who are the Ravens playing?
Ravens playing Arizona.
Yeah, I do want to give an honorable side lock, Miami over New England. I was going to go with Miami, but last time I picked over New England, they decided to win.
Yeah, what happened?
So I decided I wasn't going to go against Bill Belichick for the rest of the year because I just can't do it. The next time I go against Bill Belichick is when the Colts play New England, and I'm locking it.
Yeah. My general rule is just avoiding division games because anything can happen.
Bro, Jordan, I literally picked Buffalo to beat New England last week, and then New England came out and won in a terrible game.
Yeah,
so I was like,
ugly all over.
Yeah, so I was pissed. I'm not locking anybody against New England right now because for some reason you get one day you get this type of Matt Jones, and the next day you get a different one, or Mac Jones, whatever the hell his name is. So.
And then it looks like Chris is locking the Bengals
over the Niners.
That might be a good game. If Burrow and Chase and company are back to how they should be this year, that might be a good game.
I still haven't decided on that game because Burrow says he's as healthy as he's been all year. And the 49ers
they're coming off a bye week, too.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye, and the 49ers don't know if Purdy's going to play or not. So I've been jumping back and forth. I'm not sure.
I think I would go Cincinnati that way too, just because I'm not sure about the quarterback play. But granted, this is one of the teams that we've said countless times. It really doesn't matter who plays quarterback. So if Sam Darnold steps in there, they still have a chance to win.
Who's that, Dave? Who's the tough lock?
Either way, I mean,
Chris. I've seen Purdy's been cleared, but they haven't said if he's going to play or not.
Yeah.
Who's the backup?
Sam Darnold.
Backup is Sam Darnold.
I think
we saw him play well last year in spots.
It's a Kyle Shanahan system. So
yeah,
I don't question any quarterback in that system unless your name's Trey Lance.
They done said Purdy's.
I don't know, man. What is it? Oh, I haven't seen that he was playing just yet. I thought it was questionable, so I haven't seen that just yet. Oh, they just said?
Yeah, they said like 7:30 that he was going to start the game.
Oh, thanks for letting me know because now I need to go put him back in on fantasy then.
I had seen his league today.
I
didn't know.
in there.
I checked.
But yeah,
ESPN at 7:30.
Yeah, I forgot what I was about to do just now.
I'm still going Cincinnati over San Francisco.
Hey, don't change your picks, man.
Oh, I'm not. I still have Atlanta over Tennessee.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to keep Jimmy G in because Jimmy G is playing Detroit, and they lit up a lot of passing yards.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say Nick Mullins, and another one of those guys. I want to say Kyle Shanahan is like 24 and like 38 or something like that with QBs not named Brock Purdy or Jimmy G. So not every quarterback fits in that system.
When it works, it works.
Brock Purdy and his Avengers.
You ain't lying.
For real. Like, you give anybody else that's a championship formula.
Yeah.
Do you have any other takeaways from Cleveland or Indy game or this coming week with Indy versus New Orleans?
I'll be honest, just because I'm going to talk just to hear myself for a little bit. To me, like, this is, in my opinion, it's not about on the field. It's truly coaching, because I feel like when we've won, Shane's been in a masterclass, excluding the Browns.
Even when we've lost. The only game where I don't think he was Jacksonville the second time.
But I do respect Dennis Allen because, like, mentally, he has a very good defensive mind. Because, you know, like, whether we like it or not, New Orleans, they somehow always make their defense better than what it is. Like, it's always better than the sum of its parts. So, like, it wouldn't shock me to see Dennis Allen and whoever the heck the defensive coordinator is, New Orleans, Bum Phillips, whoever it is, come out and give Shane a different look. So to me, this game is it'll be won and lost simply based on coaching, because I believe, you know, the Colts will execute offensively, and defensively, Colts should be fine. But offensively, for me, it is all about how Shane can get creative. So
we've already seen creative. So,
and this is what it came down to for me as well, is that I believe our defense smokes their offense. I really do. I don't trust in Carr at all. So I'm 100%. I think our defense rolls there. We do have a matchup, our offense versus their defense. They have a good defense. They have a good defensive scheme, good defensive coach, good defensive players. And Chris is right earlier. Like I said, they haven't let up a 100-yard rusher. Like, they've played well against the run. So that's where the pinnacle of this matchup is to me, and really a bar-setting matchup for us.
But have they seen
them? No, they haven't. They haven't seen a team like us or a running back like Jonathan Taylor. They haven't.
An offense, just an offensive like ours. Have they seen? Because we're not the traditional offense. Right.
They have not. But that's why I say this is the bar-setting matchup for us. Because
Damon locks the Cardinals.
That's insane. If we can do what we want,
I mean, the Baltimore Ravens losing, winning versus the Cardinals. My bad.
That makes more sense. But yeah, as I was saying, if we can do what we want to the Saints defense, then we're rolling. Like, we're really good, because this defense is designed to stop the run and stop teams like us, but they haven't seen a team like us. So that's why I'm confident that we'll be able to win. But if we can just do what we want, like we did last week against the Browns, that really shows you where we're at as a team. So,
bro, yeah, they may not have let up a 100-yard rusher, but we are definitely rushing. It is 124 rushing yards per game.
Yeah,
this year. And we've faced top 2 rushing defenses in the NFL already.
Baltimore.
We're going to get our yards. It's when we get our yards, can we break off the long runs to open up the pass?
We smoked Tennessee. Tennessee's rushing defense hadn't let up a 100-yard rusher, I believe, in like 2 seasons up until we played them.
Soft.
Hey, Chris, we don't run just one zone scheme on offense, bro. We run everything. Zone, man, counters, powers.
I thought you watched every game.
I thought you watched all these football games, bro. Attention. Don't be a dummy.
It's just bait, man. Bro. It's just bait. I ain't even biting into that.
But either way, it still don't matter. I could care less about the whole 100-yard rusher thing, the good defense thing, whatever you want to call it or whatever. Jonathan Taylor can go for 70, and guess what? Zach Moss can go for 70 as well. So you give up 140 yards on the ground. So I could care less. I could care less about whatever we sit here and want to rank their defense at. The problem is Derek Carr is still a turnover machine. He's not playing well with that offense. Yes, they got 10 days to sit here and plan and whatnot. But, I mean, you could call it what you want to. I mean, we've played against Derek Carr for the last 5 years in a row. It's almost like he's a division rival. So it's not like we don't know Derek Carr.
Six.
Yeah, 6 years in a row. So,
Gus Bradley has a personal relationship with him.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, this is two teams that they don't play consistently. So you can see it go one way or another. But I just know for a fact that we've seen Derek Carr enough times to know what he's capable of. And then you look at some of the weapons. Michael Thomas not feeling too well. Chris Olave, like I said, he's not scaring me. Taysom Hill, they can kind of try and confuse you a little bit. And then Derek Carr. I mean, Derek Carr is going to be the guy that's going to sit there and give you the turnovers. And then obviously they have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is going to be the guy that we really got to watch for. And then they do have Jamal Williams, who do got a little bit of beef with Zaire Franklin. So who knows? Them two might be chippy like 2 seconds into the game. So we'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, we can sit here and try and call it what you want to. We don't have to have a 100-yard rusher. We don't have to try and make this a one-sided game. Like, you need to come ready to play, and you're not inside of the dome. You're on the road. And so it's just one of those things, like, you got to be ready to play for a full 60 minutes or a full 3 hours and see how it goes for you. But I don't see anything that I'm too worried about on the Saints team and their best pass rusher.
Cameron Jordan.
Cam Jordan. He not his regular Pro Bowl All-Pro self this season. So
Father Time's undefeated.
Exactly. So I'm just not too worried about anything about this Saints team. And this is almost the same way I felt about when we played the Tennessee Titans. This is one of those games where you need to just come and play physical. And this is a game that I feel like we should win. So
agreed. The biggest threat to the Colts tomorrow is if we do the same thing that we did against Jacksonville, where we almost outsmart ourselves or outplay ourselves before the game even starts. If we go in with a bad plan like that and start turning the ball over, then we're in trouble. But I don't see that happening. And also, if you just look at the most recent form of these two teams, our game last week against the Browns and the Saints game last week against the Jags, it's two very different ends of the spectrum, man. So if we come in still riding that high and wanted to get a win this time, obviously what happened against Cleveland, but the team played well. So if we continue that form and the Saints continue the form they showed last week of arguing with each other and fighting on the sideline and just not having a good time playing a sport for money, I think this could get ugly quick. That's my hope anyways.
I think the thing is you can't look for any team to be what they were last week. I think that's the trend that has been showing this past.
Nobody's been consistent.
So if we sit here and think about it, you can think about the Saints. They're not as talented as the Jacksonville Jaguars team we faced on offense, but they're also not as talented as the Cleveland Browns defense that we faced. So if you look at them as about right in the middle and how you need to game plan for this team, as long as we make sure we game plan for them correctly, and I'll steal this from Rick Venturi and say we need to plan for the Cam Jordan that might come ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's
and for the Marshawn Lattimore that'll come ready to play, and then we'd come out with the best game plan for it. And we just can't look at this team the same way that we saw the Rams. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I don't have to go out and play. I'm not a coach. I don't have to go out and coach. So as long as they come in ready, just like Trev said, don't overthink it, don't overcoach it. Know what you have to do, know who your game breakers are. And this is a game that I still think that we should have.
And that's a good point too, just about the veteran players they have. You talk about Cam Jordan, you talk about Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis. I love that quote that you just put out, because if you prepare for them as if they're still in their prime, then you should be fine. But if you go in thinking, oh, Cam Jordan's 34, 35, something like that, right? Up there, we don't have to worry about him. And then you don't prepare properly for him, he can wreck your game. So like, you still have to treat these guys with the respect they've earned as all-pro players. But just know, like, that all-pro player might not show up tomorrow. But as long as you're prepared for it, you should be fine. So that's actually, I love that quote.
Just Indianapolis, don't be yourselves. Just play your game.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Play your game. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And so, just like Trev said, I think we did that exact game plan last week. It just didn't work out because Myles Garrett is a prime Myles Garrett. It worked with Zadarius Smith. It worked with Denzel Ward. But
we beat everybody else.
We just didn't have enough of Myles Garrett. So I think that needs to be our game plan to come in and to beat a team that is pretty much in the same position as we are.
Yeah.
So
except they don't have a Myles Garrett, so I'm not as worried about them. So
that's exactly my point. That's where I'm at with it as a fan. I don't want to sound like a casual and be like, oh yeah, it's not this and that, because I obviously thought that was something that we could have got away with against the Rams, and look how that worked out.
Yeah. So you'll never hear us on this show. Well, you might hear me because I talk a lot of shit, but you won't hear us just going, oh, we're just gonna roll into just 62 to 0 and just roll all over them. You got to come every game prepared, otherwise you end up embarrassed. But this is a game that I do feel good about winning tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Jordan says, take Cam, for example. We're game planning for him because Blake will probably be seeing him. Steichen has shown he preps the hell out of this team. Yeah, man. I mean, just the level and preparation between last year and this year is night and day. And it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, Myles Garrett is one guy, but he's playing at Defensive Player of the Year caliber only. Tell me you haven't watched the Browns without telling me you haven't watched the Browns, dog.
Zach, it don't even matter, because if that's all he really thinks, I mean, you can if anybody out here in the world would sit here and look at the two defenses and say the Saints have a better defense than the Browns, then I mean, I don't know.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree, Chris. Well, I'll leave it there, bro.
Exactly. We'll see. We'll see if you come back next week, bro.
I'm just not gonna keep talking to this guy because he's just rambling and he's being a homer and he has no idea what he's talking about.
You know, we gave you the attention you wanted today. I hope you enjoyed it, bro. I hope you enjoyed the show. But we're
what's
gonna
his name? Save it, because when we win tomorrow,
I already took a picture of all of his comments. His 10 comments that he had to put up in a row. I took pictures of it. So
absolutely. Go ahead and at me, homie.
I'm a troll too. I just kept it respectful for the show. But you keep going. So best believe the Titans fans had to hear it. Best believe you will next. So
it's gonna happen. He's gonna get.
It's all good. It's all good.
You better
on real
better
stuff.
Hope New Orleans wins.
On real stuff. The reason why this team is so much more prepped is what they do on Wednesdays. So I don't know if y'all heard, but Wednesdays they do double meetings. They don't just have the one meeting that they used to have under Frank. So they do 2 meetings on Wednesday. I believe they do one in the morning and then they do one in the afternoon. So they're literally getting more preparation by being in the meeting rooms. Kenny Moore said it in his interview this week.
Dude, I said, we're coached by Steichen. We're not coached by Wright. I mean, I feel like that should be a damn near Bible verse that I like it. You can get that.
And I think it's such a huge point too. Like Steichen fits this team so well because we've always been good about, and Ballard has always been good about getting good locker room guys, good leaders like Kenny Moore that you brought up, that are really good about holding themselves and others accountable. And now we have a coach that reflects that, because what Reich would always do is just kind of like show like that. It was not the same level of accountability. All right. And he's a good dude. No, he's a good person. But just as far as coaching football, he did not hold players or the team accountable. It was like, oh, we're just going to get 1% better. And that's not the accountability you want. Steichen holds that accountability. So
after like 2 fumble game.
Yeah, he saw it and he was like, yeah, get out of here. Yeah. Get out of here. Don't need you. So, yeah, I love that. And we say it every week, just how great the accountability and the preparation has been. But I don't know if I'll ever stop saying it, man. Shane Steichen has been exactly what this team needs.
That's facts. That's facts. I mean, I think it's something big that we can see that this team comes out ready to play and prepared each and every week. And I think obviously, like we've called it out, it hasn't been perfect every game. I want to say against the Rams, might have been one other game. I can't remember off the top of my head, but one other game that we called it out where Steichen has been out coached. So we've called it out. I mean, he's still a rookie head coach. Exactly. Yeah. So I will say we said he outcoached himself that week, but yeah, we've been all for calling him out. He's a rookie head coach. So it's just one of those things. that, we stay on top of, and we just like him to keep growing and learning. And I think each and every week he showed us something different. So even if it was the week where we said he outcoached himself, it was still him trying to be the better team rather than being reactionary, which I hated seeing from us from Frank, because each and every week we look soft. I hated that. Each and every week we look like we were waiting for somebody to punch us in the mouth and see if we would stand up to the bully or not. Like,
even
I'm
when
glad
we
to
are
see
reactionary, it's a different attitude with it, because it's a reactionary and we've learned, rather than it's a reactionary and we repeat the same mistakes, if that makes sense.
Facts.
That's facts, Dave. Speaks volumes.
Kevin, great comment, bro. Only team this year to score 20 points in every 20 or more in every game. Yeah, 100%, man. We just saw this recently, actually. Yeah, we're the first team, or the last team, sorry, still holding that. So that's night and day from the offensive last year.
Yep. So that's all we can look forward to there. We'll keep moving along, keep chugging along. I think it's great to have Shane. I can't wait to get to some of the stuff in the bye weeks. I'd like for us to all personally, I guess we can try and grade, whether our offense or defense or coaching, special teams and stuff like that. Just give a grade to it and see what we expect. Just like how I brought up the Rodney Thomas comment. I think that'd be really good for us to do, to kind of see, because obviously we all had lesser expectations from what we have seen so far. Last year we went from historically bad to one of the best in the league, at least on offense, and seeing our defense get back to form side, I think that'd be something pretty dope to get back to.
The foundation is there. The foundation is there to be a great team. We just have to keep building and keep developing these guys that we have.
Get our quarterback back, keep building guys, adding talent. I think that's something that we all can't look forward to. Can't wait to look forward to.
Y'all want to see about some score predictions for tomorrow? I'm sure Zach's got a big one.
Oh, yeah, his dad was already in there rocking with me. I think he had
31-20.
31-20 over the New Orleans Saint Dummies.
62-0.
I love it.
I like that prediction. I like that one. Zach, where are you going with it?
Well, because I don't want to be a dummy, I actually think it's going to be like 35-14. I was going to pick like 55-0, but I'll give him 14 points. It'll be garbage time, but like 35-14, and the 14 points. It might be a game early, but I think after halftime, Saints will be too busy fighting one another, yelling at one another.
I think if it does come down to it, and it's like the 45-14, I think one of those 7 points comes in garbage time.
Yeah, I could see that. I think, my final score prediction would be like 31-21. So I think we win this game by more than one touchdown. I have us at a 10-point victory.
I don't really think it's 62-0. Just so y'all know.
I do agree. They'll probably get a garbage time touchdown. I see us controlling most of this game, as long as we can get that run game going. And like we said earlier, that's the matchup that we need to look out for, is our run game versus their run defense. But yeah, I have us 31-20. I think we score well, and I think we run away with it, and then they get some garbage time points at the end.
I think it's 34-17. That's my real prediction.
I like it.
All right, and as for me, my prediction is 24-17. That's my prediction there for Saints and versus Colts.
Ending on an incomplete pass in the end zone.
I could see that too. Yeah, I think they have a hard time moving the ball against us, other than Kamara.
I hope not, because then the ref might feel disjointed to throw a flag for pass interference.
Yeah,
that's true.
And then we just get another gut wrenching nightmare like last week. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I got like JT scoring like a 1 minute and 18, a touchdown with 1 minute and 18 seconds left, leaving it at 24-17. And then Saints just can't move the ball.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad just to break Saints' hearts and just win it on a knockoff field goal and be like, we paid a kicker $22 million.
Just remember, our good friend David in the comments earlier asked if the Colts could win handily, so we don't have to have a heart attack every week. So preferably, we don't have to wait until a minute left in the game to go up.
right?
Hey, yeah. A blowout is always nice. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Don't get me wrong.
All right,
Still
man.
reading some comments there, checking there. Hey, but first off, shout out to ZTV. Shout out to everybody, all 31 viewers who came in through tonight. Shout out to everybody who came in here tonight, even Chris Lundy, even though he wanted to act a fool.
It's all good.
Shout out
It's
to
all
Jordan
good.
Kibbe, who's still commenting through. Shout out to Zach's dad, Cecil, who's still in the comments all the way through for the show. Appreciate
y'all,
everybody
man.
who's came in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We are on all platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Hey,
Go
don't
check
forget,
us out on YouTube.
don't forget to follow us on ztvonline.com. Go to the IndyTV section. We're right under there, kicking with the crew. Don't forget that this episode will be reran on Friday. They do a giveaway on Friday night, so they'll run us, and then right after that, they do a giveaway. So make sure to check that out on Fridays.
Yeah, they do a lot of really cool stuff over on ZTV. So if you guys have been following Kicking with the Crew for a while, make sure you head over there and check them out. Just check out everything that they have a Pacers podcast. If you're big basketball fans, they have a lot of Cincinnati material. They also do just regular news, weather, the whole 9 yards. So especially if you're in the Midwest area, definitely check out ZTV. It's a growing TV station online, and we're super proud to be a part of it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And appreciate everybody coming out. Again, it is always Go Colts.
Go Colts, baby.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes.